Welcome again, dear students. I am Dr. Kaleem Ahmed, Assistant Professor, Department of Wildlife Sciences, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. Now, in today's lecture, we will learn about biodiversity and the ecosystem services that actually we get from the biodiversity. Ecosystem services and biodiversity actually are the form some kind of the backbone of the human survival and economic stability. These natural systems provide us with essential resources such as food, water, and medicine while maintaining environmental balance through processes like climate regulation, pollination, and air purification. Biodiversity, on the other hand, is we have already discussed the variety of the life forms, enhance the resilience and productivity of these ecosystems, ensuring they continue to support human life and aimed growing challenge. This presentation actually explores the four primary categories of the ecosystem services, that's provisioning, regulating, cultural, and sporting, highlighting their significance, the threats they face, and the urgent need for the conservation efforts to secure a sustainable future. We are exploring how nature benefits humans in essential ways, from providing food and water to regulating the climate. Ecosystem services, as I have already discussed with you in the previous slides, are categorized into four types, that is provisioning, regulating, cultural, and sporting services. Each of these categories have unique contribution, we can say, and biodiversity play a critical role in making these system resilient. As human, we depend on these services for survival, well-being, and prosperity. These are the four services that you can see in this particular diagram: the provisioning, the regulating, the cultural, and the sporting uh, services that we actually get from the biodiversity itself. So we will discuss these four one by one in the coming slides. Let's start from the provisioning services. Provisioning services include tangible resources that we harvest directly from the ecosystem, like food, water, and the materials such as timber and medicine. These resources are essential to our daily lives and form the foundation of many industries impacting jobs and livelihood worldwide. Biodiversity in these ecosystems helps ensure a variety of the resources, making them more reliable and sustainable over time. Without, we can say, biodiversity, the variety and the availability of these resources could be diminished. Food provisioning, we can say, is a key ecosystem services, drawing resources from agriculture, fisheries, forest, and livestock. Biodiversity helps ensure a wide range of the food resources or food sources, creating a balanced diet that support human health. Economically, we can say food production sustain industries worldwide, from farming to fishing to contributing billions to the global economy. Biodiversity also strengthens food security by reducing risk. If one food sources face some kind of the threat, others remains available, making our food supply more resilient. Fresh water is another fundamental for the life and is essential for drinking, sanitations, and agriculture. Sources like river, lakes, aquifers, and wetlands supply these water. These ecosystems naturally filter our contaminants, providing clean water for human consumption and reducing the spread of the waterborne disease. Freshwater also support agriculture by providing irrigation that actually needed for the crops. Maintaining healthy biodiverse freshwater ecosystems, we can say, is crucial to sustaining these services and ensuring long-term water availability. Medicine resources, or we can say another vital provisioning services, with many medicines derived from the plants and the animal species. Traditional medicines, we can say, has a long relied on the biodiversity, using various plants and various herb species. And we can say on modern pharmaceuticals also continue to discover new drugs from the nature, leading to critical treatments for numerous health conditions. Biodiversity loss, we can say, could prevent future medical discoveries, as species containing unknown compounds may actually disappear. So we can say conserving these ecosystems or conserving the biodiversity is essential to sustaining global healthcare and meeting future medical needs. The we can say the willow tree is the original source of, we can say, aspirin, and the neem has been used traditionally for its antibacterial properties. So the pharmaceutical industries, we can say, also benefit from the biodiversity derived from the Pacific yew that actually treat cancers, and the rosy periwinkles is effective for the leukemia. So these examples actually show the importance of the conserving biodiversity, as it supports the discovery of the life-saving medicines that is very, very essential for the human well-being. So these are the plants that I will discuss with you in the previous slides that have a medicine values. That's rosy periwinkle. We have a Pacific yew, we have willows, and we have neems. So you can, these plants actually provide n number of the, we can say, benefits to the human well-being. Regulating services, we can say, are another services are natural process that keep our environment stable and healthy. They include climate regulation, water purification, and pollination. These services that have a, we can say, a significant impact on human well-being. For example, we can say ecosystem help reduce pollution, which in turn reduces health risks such as respiratory disease. Biodiversity also play some kind of the key role in supporting these services, with many different species actually contributing. Ecosystem can better adopt and maintain stability, which actually helps protect our health as well as our environment. Forests, we can say, oceans and mangroves all help to regulate the climate. Forest and the oceans absorbs large amount of the carbon dioxides, thus reducing greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Mangroves protect coastal areas by preventing erosions and reducing the impact of the storms and the flooding. Biodiversity actually enhances these ecosystems' resilience, helping them better cope with the climate change, and also help in reducing extreme weather events. So we can say maintaining these services is essential for stabilizing the planet's climate. Another, we can say, regulating services, water purification is another vital services provided by the ecosystems like wetland and the forest. Wetland act as a natural filters, capturing contaminants before they reach water sources. Forests actually reduce runoff from the agriculture, preventing harmful pollutants from entering waterways. Soil, we can say, organisms also play a crucial role by breaking down organic wastes. Together, we can say these processes provide some kind of, we can say, safe drinking water that is very, very essential for public health. So we can say biodiversity actually supports these natural purification systems, ensuring they function effectively. These slides actually show how we can say a water body or wetland help us by n number of the ways, by helping in the groundwater flow. This also help in the bacteria breakdowns of the contaminants. Then they actually help us in this saturated peat in the wetlands helps to store water. This actually help in slow release of the stored water into the streams. Then it provide us some kind of the clean water outflow, and ultimately they actually then the water comes out from these water, underground water. They provide some kind of the critical habitat to the wildlife species, particularly the waterfalls. All these things, we can say, are interlinked and help in filtering of the contaminants and the sediments. Another we can say regulating service is the pollinators such as bees, butterflies and the birds play an essential role in agriculture by aiding crop productivity. Without pollinators, many of our crops would have reduced yield, impacting food security and creating shortage of the food supply. So we can say pollinations also support the agriculture industry, which relies on the diverse pollinators to ensure constant crop production. We can say biodiversity in pollinator species actually enhance this process, making pollination more resilient to environmental change or the diseases. This image actually depicts the most common and essential pollinators that are actually under threat, which if we not taken care of could have adverse impact on the ecosystems. The monarch butterfly, the honeybee, the native bees, these all are the we can say our natural pollinators and we need to conserve them, so otherwise we will going to lose n number of the services, ecosystem services that we actually get from the biodiversity. Another we can say regulating service is the air quality improvement is an essential services provided by the trees and the wetlands. Trees naturally absorb pollutants from air, reducing the risk of the respiratory illness. Wetlands also trap particulates and the dusts, keeping the air cleaner. In urban areas, trees are particularly valuable in filtering out city pollutions. Biodiversity in plant species enhance air filtrations as different plant absorb different type of the pollutants, making the air cleaner for the human health. Another services that we can actually get from the biodiversity, cultural. Culture services are the non-material benefits we actually derive from nature, such as recreational opportunities and the cultural inspirations. Spending we can say time in natural areas is proven to reduce stress and improve mental well-beings. Tourism on the other hand related to the nature like ecotourisms also contributes to the local economies. We can say biodiversity actually enhances these experience by creating a unique recreational opportunities and aiding diversity to the landscapes and also promoting a sense of the wonder and the appreciations for the nature. So these are the cultural services that actually we get from the biodiversity, cultural diversity, spiritual and religious values, knowledge systems, educational values, inspiration, aesthetic values, social relations, sense of place, cultural heritage values, recreation and ecotourisms. So these all are the we can say cultural services that actually we get from the biodiversity. We can say the recreation and the tourisms offer significant cultural and economic benefits. Ecotourism attracts visitors worldwide, supports local business and jobs in many communities. We can say nature-based activities such as hiking, camping, bird watching provide some kind of the relaxations and the mental health benefits to the people. Biodiversity we can say provides some kind of the aids value to these activities, creating distinct and diverse ecosystems that actually draw visitors and enhance their experience. Biodiversity also offers educational value through environmental education and scientific research. By studying nature, we learn more about ecosystem and species, raising awareness of conservation needs. Nature also inspires, we can say, art, culture, and fostering connection between the people and their natural heritage. We can say protecting these resources ensure that future generation can continue learning and benefiting from the nature's inspirations. We can say sporting services are foundational process that actually enable other ecosystem services such as provisioning, regulating and cultural benefits. We can say soil formation and nutrient cycling support plant growth, that actually critical for the agriculture productivity. Habitats are, we can say, created, providing shelter for the countless species, and biodiversity enriches this process, ensuring that the ecosystem remain productive and balanced over time. Soil formation is also fundamental services that supports agriculture and plant life. Plant actually helps prevent erosion by stabilizing the soil, while soil microorganisms recycle nutrients, enriching the soil for crop growth. Biodiversity, we can say, among soil microorganisms play a critical role in maintaining healthy soil, which is essential for sustaining agriculture and food production. We can say this nutrient cycling is another process that moves actually essential elements such as nitrogen and the phosphorus through ecosystems. There are diverse organisms that actually contribute to this process, helping maintain soil health as well as the soil fertility. So we can say this cycling actually supports agriculture by ensuring that the nutrients are replenished, promoting long-term sustainability and ecosystem health. Ecosystem services, we can say, face numerous threats from none other than human activities such as habitat destruction, pollution, climate change and introduction of the invasive species. So these factors place strain on the resources and reduce biodiversity and threatening the stability and the resilience of the ecosystems. So we can say conservation and restoration efforts, we can say, are essential to protect and to sustain these services. Conservation strategies, including, we can say, creating some kind of the protected areas that we have already discussed, adopting sustainable resources management practices and implementing restoration projects like reforestations. Community engagement is also vital, encouraging public participations in conservation efforts. Policy supports, including legislations to protect biodiversity, is also essential for sustaining ecosystem services in the long term. We can say conserving ecosystem services offers numerous benefits, from supporting sustainable economic practices and to improving environmental resilience. So health benefits also arise from, we can say, cleaner air and clean water, and also depend on the quality of life improves with recreational and the mental well-being opportunities. So we can say conservation efforts also ensure that these resources remain available for future generation, thus securing long-term prosperity. We can say that the health of our planets hinges on the protection and the sustainable management of the ecosystem services and the biodiversity. These natural assets not only sustain human livelihood but also provide resilience against environmental challenges like climate change and the pollutions. So we can say addressing these threats such as habitat destructions, our exploitations of the natural resources is very, very crucial. So we can say conservation strategies, including that I've already discussed with you, community engagements, establishment of the protected areas and sustainable practices are very, very important to safeguard all these ecosystem services that we actually get from the biodiversity. We can say by valuing and by preserving the biodiversity, we actually ensure economic stability, enhanced quality of the life and the availability of the resources for the future generations, thus emphasizing the irreparable role of the natures in our collective well-being. This image show, we can say, tried where one health is at the intersection of the human health, animal health and the environment health. One Health is an integrated unifying approach that actually aims to sustainability balance and optimize the health of the humans, animals, plants and the ecosystems. Dear students, with this we end today's lecture, and in the next lecture we will continue to discuss some new topic. Thank you.